A short time ago, I did a little mini-save with Watford, bridging the Watford gap, and I was asked if I could do a 4-4-2. But I decided on inspection of the squad that probably wasn't going to work, so I went with a 4-3-3, which turned out to be a pretty successful tactic. So by request, I'm actually uploading this video so that you can see exactly how I set up that 4-3-3 and why it was so successful. Okay, let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Watford. And if you're a first-time visitor and you like this kind of content, then why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow and help us to support all that good stuff that you can see scrolling up above. And this Watford save was a very, very successful save. And ultimately this season we have qualified for the Champions League, finishing in 4th position with 68 points from 38 games. And initially when I set this up, I was asked if I would do a 4-4-2 formation, but I looked at the squad and I decided it probably didn't fit. So what I did decide to do was to go with a 4-3-3. And that tactic turned out to be very, very successful in the end. And, well, to finish in the Champions League places within the first 3 seasons was quite outstanding from this team. We didn't make too many big signings in the market. We did in the last season. We brought in a couple of players such as Udogie at fullback, Jota. We've spent 20 million on to come in as a winger. Anel Amamadic, he was a central defender, and we brought him in. We didn't really, though, spend too much money. I think the previous season we had bought Vitinha, of course, outstanding forward, and we brought him in for a small amount of money, really, given a player of his stature. We brought him in for 17 million. So we weren't really too active in the transfer market, but we were very, very solid defensively, and we, in attack, were quite outstanding. And I thought, having been asked, I would upload this little video and explain the tactic that we used. And it's a very, very simple little 4-3-3. And we'll just go through it player by player, then we'll come to the team instructions, etc. And so we had Benadoni, he was our goalkeeper, just a goalkeeper on defend. We have our 2 fullbacks on automatic. They were just basically told to sit narrower and close down less. And we had 1 central defender on defend and no instructions for him. And we had a ball-playing defender on cover. And he obviously has take more risks as a ball-playing defender, but no additional instructions. And then we had an anchor at the base of midfield, and additional instruction for him was just to tackle harder. In midfield, very simple again. We had a box-to-box midfielder. He was told to dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward, and tackle harder. And then we had a central mid on attack, and he was told to take more risks and tackle harder. And that was the midfield that we used. And up front, we had a winger on attack with no additional instructions, and on the left we had an inverted winger on attack. He was just said sit narrower, so he would just be more willing to come inside. So it was very simple. We then played a pressing forward. Vitinha is a very, very good pressing forward, and he had no additional instructions. Very, very simple to put together, yet very, very effective. And we played in the main with a positive mentality, but we would reduce that to balanced against some of the bigger teams. And in possession, we played fairly wide, and we would underlap on the right-hand side, play out of defence. Played slightly more direct with a higher tempo, work the ball into the box, and run at the defence. Pretty simple, kept it very, very simple. And then in transition, when possession had been lost, we didn't give them any instructions at all. We left that blank. And when possession had been won, we were told them to counterattack. So we were pretty much counterattacking at pace. We told the goalkeeper to distribute to the back line and to take short kicks, because that's pretty much all he could do. And out of possession, we had a lower line of engagement and a standard line of defense. We're pretty much playing a low block here, but you can't lower the defensive line in FM22 because that was broken and you'd be getting yourself into all sorts of trouble. So we played a low block with a lower line of engagement and a standard defensive line, and we forced the opposition outside, the idea being that we had two very good central defenders, very tall, very strong, and very good in the air, and they could deal with the crosses that were coming in. And the only other thing, the trigger press was set to more often. And that was pretty much the extent of the tactic. And it worked absolutely fabulously. So what I'll do is I'll see if this tactic works in FM23, along with the 4-4-2, which we did with Bilbao, and I'm going to give those a try when FM23 comes out to see if we can get them to work there and to make little tweaks and to find out what we need to do to make this quite effective in FM23. Interestingly, because of the low block, and they say that the low block is going to work now, we can try all sorts of different things with this and hopefully produce a very nice tactic. And I'll let you know how we get on with that as soon as FM23 comes out. But it was very, very effective. It did get us to 4th in the Premier League in our 3rd season. We weren't dynamic in the transfer window, so it really was all about how we set them up and getting them to play that way regularly. It's all about tactic, this. It wasn't about really anything else. So there you go, try it out in your saves, see what happens, and I hope that that's been helpful to you, and it's just a very short video. If you are new to the channel, don't forget, subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow, help us to support the very worthwhile cause you can see scrolling above. I'm really looking forward to FM23, can't wait for it to come out. But before that, I will upload details of the Bilbao tactic because I have been asked how that was set up as well. And so look out for that, it's coming within the next couple of days. So I will see you all in the next video.